Hello everyone, Mireya here, and welcome to our Biz Talk. Guys, today I have a very interesting person that you guys are going to be very excited to hear from because she is an educator. She is a social media goddess, I swear to God, and what she does with these hands when she's doing work, you guys are gonna be like, oh my God, I need more of that. I love her. I'll be honest with you, I have never met her in my life, but we are cheerleaders to each other through social media. And as much as she believes in me, I believe in her. And I know for a fact that having her on here and sharing her story is going to help you and myself get to the next level as soon as we get back to work. And that's it. Sophia, I want you to come on here and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, Mireya. Thank you for having me. My name is Sophia Vera, and I'm a national educator for L'Oreal Professionnel, creative director of TGI Balayage, and I happily work behind the chair at Muse Salon and Spa in Atlanta, Georgia. I am all over the place, and thank you for having me on. This is such a gift.
You guys, you see that light above her? I mean, her energy is really beautiful. And when you go on her social media, you are definitely going to feel that energy. She's an amazing instructor, like educator, educator in hair. And I know when you guys are going back to work, you guys are going to want to hear what she does, what she teaches, and what she could help you when you go back to work. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Sophia. I know that you create these beautiful contents on social media with your color, but any tips on what you create that is going to help our audience become more successful behind the chair once they go back?
Yeah, no, I love that topic because something that I've been focusing on with all this downtime is how can we really wow the client when we return back to behind the chair. Like, it'll be such a gift to me that they come back and see me, that they've been patient, and it's like this grand opportunity to go, okay, I want to make you feel better than you've ever felt. Also, having 6 weeks off or however long, hopefully that's it, of getting their hair done creates this whole new canvas of opportunity to create something new, like a reason for a makeover. So I actually suggested to both clients and hairdressers, for clients, number one, like to try to find something new, so a new look to get ready to bring to their hairdresser when they go back, something they've been wanting for a long time. And then also for hairdressers to educate themselves and try to find some new techniques, and even maybe give their new techniques a name so that they could create this collection to give their clients when they come back in the chair. It's been really fun to talk about that.
That's awesome. Do you are you creating content for your customers, or are you creating content for stylists during these times?
Honestly, usually what happens is when I'm creating something for social media, I end up thinking, oh my gosh, I can apply that to behind the chair and just kind of tweak it and change the name. Like, if I'm teaching the hairdressers, I might call it, a 3-point balayage or a 20-minute balayage. But if then I want to convert it to the client, and maybe I'll give it a name like the Melissa or the Maddie. And so I could apply it to both.
Oh, that's different. That's really
Yes.
different. I love it. So I know you're going to be probably, you're not doing those roadside assistants, are you, where customers come and pick up color? No?
I'm not. I just can't do it.
I hear you. I hear a lot of stylists that are doing it, and
Yeah.
I actually interviewed one the other day, and she has a successful salon, kind of like Muse, and she did not want to do that roadside assistance kind of thing, but she ended up deciding something very different. She ended up doing, how can I say, I guess she did a very simple video, kind of like a child could know, and understand. And she ended up doing what is a half portion of the hair. And she did the roadside assistance for several customers, and a lot of her stylists are making a lot of money for doing that. I was like, okay, but it's working
Yeah.
for her, and it's working for a lot of people. And I you're probably, you say you're not doing it. Do you like that idea, or you just don't like that?
Honestly, I struggle with all of the above. Like, I have clients reaching out to me asking for, suggestions on box color. And the last thing I want to do is shame them for trying to make themselves feel better at home, right? Or maybe they aren't making money right now, just like us. I don't want to shame them for trying to do something inexpensive when we get back to work. I've always tried to create like an open environment at my chair where if you leave me for any reason, you're always welcome back, no matter what you did or what you had to do to get by. So to be honest, it's been a struggle. And then there's the other part of me that has always been the most dedicated professional I could ever be. That has always been my brand. So it's been a little bit of a struggle because I understand and have respect for both sides. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, I get it, because it's desperate times for people, and people are like, okay, what can I do to make more money? And some stylists are not getting unemployment, and some are waiting for that SBA loan to come in, and it's taking a little longer. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you're in survival, you think in ways you're like, should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I? Guess what? I gotta eat, right? So they do it. But you know what? I want to talk about color corrections, because you are definitely going to be doing a lot of those when you go back to work. And what are you
Yes.
going to do when they can't afford it? Because color corrections are super expensive. So you, as an educator, I want to hear like what you teach, your stylists, and or what you are going to do behind the chair, when that happens.
That's a good question. I love that because I do get a lot of color corrections already just because of my bio. I get a lot of people that come in wanting things fixed. And then I get a lot of people that come in that don't even realize they have something to fix, which is a large part of the clientele. And so I guess for me, I always look at it as an opportunity. I always want the client to feel like they have a choice, no matter what is going to happen behind the chair. So my biggest priority is just to educate them on both options. Like option A, we can correct this. I can take and remove the darkest band and match it to the rest of the hair in 3 steps, and then put in highlights, and then finish it with a conditioning treatment, and then, right, and do all this stuff, and it can be this amount, and I quote them on an exact price. Or I can say, there's also a Band-Aid option, something that I could do just to get you by in the meantime, and you could let it grow out a little bit and let it fade naturally, and that could be an inexpensive way to try to get to your end goal. So I guess for me, it's always important just to make sure that I don't tell them the only option is the expensive option, because I don't really believe that that's true.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So what are you doing right now? Because obviously everyone is going through this. So how are you controlling this? This is very important right now, the way your mind is. And a lot of people that I ask that question is, they have all different answers. And what are you doing to not go, with your mind?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And honestly, I surprised myself with how poorly I did the first week. I really always saw myself as someone who was good at going with the flow and taking it easy. And I've been through a lot of stuff in my life that I couldn't control, a lot of tragedies when I was younger. And so I always thought, oh, I can take on anything and I'll be fine. And then this happened, and I was so lost and so like almost angry and confused. Like, why am I so upset? Why am I crying so easily? And then the second week, it was like, okay, I just need to figure out a way to, accept my inability to control this and to let go, and then create a purpose for myself. So naturally, since I love to teach so much, I created a Renovate Your Social Media series and just committed and told my followers, even though it made me super nervous, that I was going to do a live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday until this is over. And I literally had no content, I had no names. Every night before a live, I was like, okay, I poured myself a beer because I love beer. And I just was like, okay, I need to find inspiration for this next part of the series. And then it would come to me, I just used the ideas that get me through every day and that make me excited and applied them to this series. And reaching out to my followers really completely changed my attitude. I felt like I had a purpose. I was getting messages from people who aren't even in hair saying, oh my gosh, I've been trying to renovate my social media. This is so inspiring. Thank you. And I'm like, what? Like even my grandma was like commenting on how great it was. Keep it going. And I immediately, not that I don't still have hard days, but it's changed a lot. And that's really that, and working out and playing with my dogs and cooking with my husband has been a saving grace for sure.
All right, Sophia. So I know you are a L'Oreal educator, but you also have your own show and event, correct? How are you doing right now with that event? Because I have events also that I had to like postpone, not cancel. We're postponing them till October and having it a lot bigger and better then, because we all have to work together. How are you managing all of that?
Yes, thank you. No, it's been so me and my husband created TGI Balayage this year, and we wanted to create it because as I travel around to L'Oreal salons across the country, which I'm still doing and love, I was getting a lot of messages from people asking if they could pay to attend. So these events weren't public, right? They were always private events for the salon. So with our tour, it definitely got delayed. We had a huge response when we first launched it. We had 7 requests within 48 hours on Black Friday from cities and salons all over the country that I'd never even met before asking to host the program, which is such a gift. And right now we've just postponed the dates, and we hope that we can get going as soon as we get those dates filled. And that's really the best we're doing. It brings back a memory for me where when in 2008, when a lot of us hairdressers weren't busy, I chose to go to L'Oreal Professional Academy and get my balayage certification because I had time. I had time to learn something new. And honestly, when I sat in those chairs surrounded by other hairdressers who were struggling and eager to learn, my soul was revived, and I knew that it would pay off. And education for me is truly an investment in your future. And the best time to get education is when you actually have time to implement it into your work behind the chair. So hopefully as an industry, we can take this as a gift and utilize that and invest in each other and come together at these education events and support and lean on each other. We take time to discuss business ideas in these classes, and you're with hairdressers from all over the country learning what they do that you haven't tried, and they learn from you. So hopefully we can take that and get going again, because it's been a huge gift.
I was telling Ashley the other day, I'm like, it's like because obviously America's Beauty Show got canceled because of the virus, and we had to postpone it, and we're like, what's a good date that we should postpone it to be safe? And I decided to do it in October, right? And she's like, why so far away? I'm like, you know what? It's going to be safe to do it that far. And by that time, all of my hairdressers and my students and salon owners are going to be this is my mentality. They're going to be so bored and eager to learn because they're either locked up in the house and then locked up in the salon. They're going to want to learn and get that energy and having that human connection. And I thought October would be, hopefully, knock on wood, it's safe. And we ended up creating a 2-day class. So I'm excited about that. And I don't know, I just it's scary times right now, obviously being with people and, 6 feet away from each other and wearing masks. It's kind of like weird, but I know we're going to get out of this. I know they're going to find a solution, and it just takes some time. I just felt October would be the best, time. And I don't know, are you doing extending it that long, or is it shorter for you?
We have some scheduled right now in May, June, and July. But quite honestly, we're just going to take it 1 month at a time. And, when they move, we'll move them to the next month and the next available date and see how it goes from there.
I know you're really, really good at like teaching hands-on and being in front of the people. But have you considered doing like a private online course that you could probably end up getting? I see a lot of educators that I partner up with. They have this online presence where education is killing it. Like education is killing it. And, I found this website that is not that expensive, and hey, I forgot it, Punjabi or something like that, but I could put it here when I'm done with this video so you could see it. But it's a really cool, way to put your business to the next level, right? If you're a
Yeah.
salon owner or a stylist that wants to give online education, guys, it's not even expensive. It's like $150 a month to host it. And then you do your education and you can have 500 people watching you, and you make some money like that. And virus or no virus, you're doing online courses, educating and showing your passion to people. So it's really important to even consider that. Like I'm kind of sort of considering that, but at the same time, I'm like, October,
Yeah.
but
No, I'm actually, so I have started and I've almost completed creating my curriculum that I use for TGI Balayage for online as well. And I think, it's inevitable that that's in the future, but also, yes, looking at where we're at with this, like unexpected times, if this happened now, it could certainly happen again. And I'm like you, I love having an international presence. And I have people, message me all the time from different countries asking like, will you ever put stuff online? And I'm like, yes, I just need, the studio. And so I have the curriculum down. I'm getting together everything like that. And then I'll be recording everything so that we can put it online. Absolutely. This movement has really pushed us all, or hopefully it opens the door for people getting comfortable in video format, because this is the future. And, nothing replaces the gift of having someone watch you balayage and try to help you tweak the way that your hand moves to get a better result. But to be able to touch each other through video is also like the world's greatest gift. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to do that.
I had to record you while talking, right? I have to put both this channel on Snapchat. I
That's
love you. I
perfect.
love you. And you're going to
Yes.
kill it with those videos. And I
Thank
I
you.
adore you. And you are full of energy, and everybody needs to know who you are.
Thank you, Mireya.
I don't know if you know why I started these series, and I'll tell you a little bit, and maybe the audience doesn't know, but um, I've been through similar situations in my past where, I came from nothing. I created a business that I had no idea that was going to blow up. I had no idea. I started little by little. It went all the way up, and then it went all the way down, and it went up again, and it went down again. So I've been through so many cycles with health and business going up and down that my mindset is not normal, because I guess it's not normal because I've gone through so many changes in my life that I just feel very strong. So going through this virus does not compare to, obviously, it's scary. It is very scary. And my business is in a standstill, but it does not compare to a lot of different situations. Like my husband had 2 major heart surgeries in his past, and my mind at 27 years old like shifted and saw what was important in life. And then reaching goals that were unheard of and failing at them just shifted my mind all over again. And I feel like during this time, during this virus, a lot of people are really, really nervous. And I said to myself, I'm like, what can I do to help and share my journey of my tragedies with them so they could see that one, obviously the virus is very dangerous, stay home, but if you're healthy and it's finances that you're worried about, number one thing is you shouldn't worry about them because we're all going through this together and it's going to get resolved. And we're going to go back to work and we're going to be 10 times more powerful, but with time. See, in my past incidents, I failed at something very gigantic that I almost lost my business. I lost a lot of things, my employees and everything, and hitting rock bottom of losing everything. I didn't get the help. I tried to get banks to give me loans. It didn't happen. I tried to get investors to invest in me and it didn't happen. And now with this virus, coming along in my business, I just brings back memories of oh my God, am I going to go back to, what happened when I failed a couple of years ago? And I came out of it. I came out of that failure so much stronger. And I had, and I started my business in 2008, which was during the worst recession. And I came out of that too. And I feel like people need to hear these stories of mine so they could feel that it's finances. And if she lost everything and she didn't get help and she made it, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You guys are in such a good position right now because you guys are getting money. Everyone's going to get money. I wish, when I was on rock bottom, banks would offer me this money and it didn't happen. So you guys are in a great, I'm not going to say great, but you guys, if it's mentally disturbing you that it's finances, I say no, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be resolved. Guys, if I could survive eating beans, you guys can do that too. I mean, you'll be fine. So I just tell people the mind is really powerful. And the number one thing for me is, sharing that story, because when they hear it, they think about it and they're like, you're right, it's not a big deal. If I really needed food, or anything, there's food banks that I could go get some, you know what I mean? And I don't have to pay my bills right now because I don't have any money. Why stress myself out? And I'm not trying to guide you to not pay your bills, because that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, you can't kill yourself. You can't kill yourself over stressing about bills when the whole world is on a pause. Everyone is really understanding with what the situation is. So that is why I created, these videos to share stories from, your story and my story and help other people, because there's a lot of people that are scared right now because they don't have the finances and they didn't save for a rainy day, right? And it's scary, but at the same time, there's always a solution and we're always going to figure it out. I mean, every day, hairdressers are entrepreneurs. It could be a booth renter. If you're even in beauty school, I mean, you're growing to become an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs don't take no for an answer. They're hustlers and they figure things out like there's no tomorrow. I've been talking to so many stylists and business owners that are thinking so differently now with this situation, that they're going to come out of this so much stronger. But the only thing that you need to take care of this, Sophia, is your mind, because everything is working out. And what you're doing on Facebook is the best medicine that you're doing for yourself. I'm telling you, when I started doing these Zooms, I love talking to people. As much as I need you, you need me. And the stories just go viral. And it's so much more powerful when other people get involved in hearing our circumstances. And it's okay. As long as you're not sick, there's no problem. If you're sick, then it's a big problem. Right?
Yes.
So I always like to talk to people and ask how the mind is. And, you know, doing your Facebook lives, I mean, that's awesome. I did a Facebook live. I actually could do this all day long, but Facebook lives, for some reason, give me panic attacks. I don't know why. And I could go on stage and talk in front of thousands of people. And you've seen me on stage. I'm very confident. I make people cry. I make people laugh. I make people everything. But Facebook lives, I don't know. Like I see myself and then I see those things popping on the right and I'm like, oh, I hear you. So I guess I need to keep practicing, you know, because I'm like, I can't even catch my breath. Did you see me the other day on Facebook Live? I was like, what did I do? What did I do? But, you know, everybody has, you know, their special things that they do. And you have a gift and you definitely talk to people with your soul through Facebook. I mean, I've seen you and I was like, whoa. And even on your Instagram. So you're very talented. I'm very proud. I'm very proud that I have you as a supportive friend through social. I've never met this beautiful soul in person. One day we will, but
Yes.
I just adore you. Any words of wisdom or any ideas that you could give the stylists, stylists, salon owners, and even students that are watching?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, something that came up for me this week when I was trying to come up with content for the next part of my series was not just now, but in the future to create like almost like your emergency call list and to have one for each section of your life. Because, you know, one thing I think Daniel Mason Jones said this, like call someone that you would want to trade lives with if you're having a hard time. And that really struck home for me because, you know, I have like, I'm going to create these lists, like a list of 5 people in my personal life that I could call that I know would be there for me in the way that I want them to be, like in a supportive, healthy way. Have that list ready. And in the same thing for professional, like you and I, Mireya, we haven't met, but I know that, and we've done this already. When I was trying to create TGI Balayage and I had some questions, and you were one that I wanted to call because I look up to you and look at what you do, and I love the vibe that you have with your followers. So I have this list of professionals that when that little voice starts to take over, which that little voice seems so loud when we're alone a lot, you know, it's important to have those go-tos. So I guess my advice would be to create those different lists for the different parts of your life so that when you're feeling the little voice taking over, you can just go to your list and almost like speed dial. Okay, this time I need Mireya, or this time I need my sister or my mom or whoever you have. But I think sometimes we forget those people are there and maybe spend too much time in our own heads.
I love it. You're awesome. Guys, you see why I have her on here? She's a ball of energy. I love her. I love you.
Thank you. It's nice to finally meet you.
I know, talking wise, we always do on the phone or through social media.
Yes.
I'm so blessed. You know, I'm so blessed to have her in my life. I know that if I needed something, I could definitely reach out to her. You know, it's so funny because you were in one of the topics that I talked to with an educator for L'Oreal. Her name is Tanya. I don't know if you know her, but she ended up calling me. And she was so excited, like you were a celebrity. Well, you are. She's like, can you believe Sophia was using your chopsticks on, and she gave you a call out on Facebook, and she does such a good job. She's like, Mireya, I love you. And I'm like, no, love her for using it, but thank you. It's really cool. So she, Sophia created a really cool technique with, you know, I created these 2 chopsticks that you do for French twist, and you put them in your hair. And she took it to a different level. She ended up buying, I don't know, 10 pieces, and she ended up sectioning the hair with the chopsticks, and it looks really, really cool. And people are like digging this new technique. It's like a different upscale balayage technique that, you know, people are liking. So I want to say thank you for doing that. And I will put the little link on here where you could visualize what she created too. But Sophia, I want to say thank you for being on, and thank you for your kind words. I know it helped me, and I'm sure it's helping so many other artists. And if you guys follow her, please, I'll put her tags on here. And you were wonderful. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Mireya, for giving me the opportunity. It was awesome. Thank you.
Bye, guys.